evening, everyone. Media Dad here. I bet you thought I was finished with Halloweens, didn't you? No. No, I'm not finished with Halloweens. Yes, I'm started, but I'm not finished. Anyway, today we have Halloween 6. I've done Halloween 4 was my first video. I did my Halloween double feature. Excuse the plaster on my finger. I dropped a bread knife at work, and as it fell, it decided it was going to just slice through the tip of my finger. It wasn't as bad as it looked, but I didn't want to get blood in anyone's food. And the plasters at work are crap. You know, those blue things that you see chefs wear all the time. So I got home and put a little... I'm sorry, I'm not doing this to the audience, but typical, it was on my middle finger. But there we go, it's an animal plaster. It has little rabbits on it, or mice or something, but they stick better than the other ones. Anyway, without further ado, Halloween 6, The Curse of Michael Myers. Now, unfortunately, I never owned the producer's cut of this. When this came out, there was no evidence of a producer's cut. So, as you can see behind me, this is probably one of my most favourite images from Halloween 6. We all remember the scene towards the end of the movie where they're running through the tunnels under the asylum. Michael is chasing after an orderly or a doctor, whoever he is, literally uses his face to beat through the bars and push the bars down. Now, this to me, this Michael Myers, in my opinion, and that's what it is, an opinion. So we had Halloween 1 and 2. Halloween 1, William Shatner mask that Tommy Lee Wallace immortified. Immortified, is that a word? Immortalized, that's the word I'm looking for. Tommy Lee Wallace took a crappy old William Shatner mask from a couple of bucks down a little store, teased the hair out, spray painted it with acrylic white. Now there was a word, it was like it was appliance white. I saw a video on this with Sean Clark. Sean Clark did a 10-minute video or so with Tommy Lee Wallace, where Tommy Lee Wallace recreated the original Michael Myers mask. Brilliant video. I've watched it probably about 6 times. So little shout out to Sean Clark there. I love that. I love that guy. Banging man. Anyway, I'm getting off track here. Then we had Halloween 2. Exactly the same mask, but apparently where it was sat under Deborah Hill's mask, Deborah Hill's bed for a couple of years between 78 and 80, well, say 1980, 81, when Halloween 2 came out. The mask had weathered slightly. Apparently it was stored under a bed. She was apparently a heavy smoker. I don't know if it could do all that much damage to a mask in only a couple of years, even if it was in a box. Yeah, so then you had Dick Warlock took over from Nick Castle, who played the Shape in Halloween 2, and it was technically called like what you would call the Warlock stretch. So even though it's exactly the same mask, it was worn by a different actor with a different kind of face profile, which made the mask appear different on him. I loved the Michael Myers look in Halloween 2. I think it was really creepy as well. Halloween 3, let's not go there with Halloween 3. I mean, personally, I love Halloween 3, but there was no Michael Myers. Let's not go there. Halloween 4. Now, what can I say about Halloween 4? Some scenes in there, the mask looks really good. There was also a scene towards the end where Jamie and Rachel were trapped in the schoolhouse, and if you look for a brief moment, Michael Myers actually had pink hair. Now, what mask production company in their right mind? So they go to this mask production company and says, look, we're making Halloween 4, the return of Michael Myers, we need a mask. And they're like, okay, we'll just give this guy pink hair and we'll ship those out. What? It's beyond me. So anyway, yes, for some weird reason, back in 88, well, 87 probably, when production started, they could not recreate the original Michael Myers mask. Then we have Halloween 5 come along. What I like to refer to as the Nicolas Cage mask, because I think the Michael Myers mask in 5 does slightly resemble Nicolas Cage. And then we have 6. Again, nothing like the original Michael Myers mask, but in my opinion, this is the most brutal and the best mask since, well, the original. Michael Myers looks so creepy in this movie. There's just something about that mask. I don't know what does it. And to me, Michael Myers in this movie was absolutely the most brutal he has ever been, and probably will be. Even in the later trilogy that came out in 2018, I just think Michael Myers in this movie was absolutely brutal. Now, I don't know if you're noticing this. I've already been rambling for about 5 minutes about nothing, but just slight bits of tidbit trivia. Anyway, I don't know if you can notice something about this. It won't come across on camera. You see there's a white line there. I'll turn it around. White line on the bottom. Slight white line at the top. I didn't do a very good job of trimming. Now, this. Can you see the gloss there on the Buena Vista hologram? So, this is actually, it's a photocopy of a cover, but it is a genuine video. I had this thing back when I was collecting tapes that I didn't like. If I'd have known then, again, Media Dad does it again. If I'd have known then what I know now, I wouldn't have done it. But big boxes. So say you've got all your VHSs lined up in a row, and you've got 1, 2, 3 or 4 big box releases crammed in there. It just looks a bit unsightly. It doesn't look neat. It doesn't look tidy. So I photocopied a cover, trimmed it down, stuck it in a normal case, kept the original. This is a rental. This is an ex-rental VHS, and it's probably about 3 minutes in by the look of it. See, genuine Halloween 6: The Curse of Michael Myers tape. This one is in perfect condition, no mold whatsoever. No, this one is impeccable. Now, I don't know if anyone in the UK remembers this, but there's also there was a budget releasing company called Cinema Club. I'd love to hear your comments on this if you're a Halloween fan and you own one of these specific copies. I personally don't own this specific copy. What I do own, anyone who's watched my previous Halloween 5 video, I was rooting around up in the loft again, and if you remember, I had duplicates. So guess what I found in my loft that I thought I'd just incorporate into this video? Halloween 5. Another copy of Halloween 5. I do apologise about the lighting going in. This one is actually on the Cinema Club label. I didn't even know I had this. I've now got 3 copies of Halloween 5. There you go, Halloween 5, Cinema Club. But what I was getting to in reference to the Cinema Club label was that Cinema Club also released Halloween 6. Now, there's this tagline here on the Cinema Club release. Haddonfield is ready to celebrate Halloween. So is Michael Myers. On the Cinema Club label, trivia, Haddonfield is ready to celebrate Halloween. So is Mike Myers. M-I-K-E. Google it. Have a look. Google Cinema Club 1990s Halloween 6 release. To be fair, what I'll do is I'll get I'll go on to Google, get a screenshot, and I'll pop it up here somewhere so you can have a look. I just found it hilarious because I used to go in HMV back in Southampton a lot back in the day, as I've mentioned before. Won't go there again. And I'm browsing along, Halloween 6, pull it out, Mike Myers. Now, who do you think of when you hear Michael Myers? You think of this guy. When you hear Mike Myers, who do you think? Austin Powers. Yeah, baby, yeah. When I hear Mike Myers, I just think of Shrek. How to Marry an Axe Murderer, Austin Powers. So I don't know if that was actually a proper goof on their part or it was just a misprint. I think I've only ever heard one character refer to him as Mikey, maybe in one of the movies. I can't remember which one. But yeah, Halloween 6, this is the most brutal he has ever been. Now, little new thing I'm trying. I've done it before, but I'm going to, go for it again. I'm going to pop the tape in and just see how it plays. Now, I'm almost certain this tape has got trailers on it. So what I'll do is I will pop the tape in and I will rejoin you in a split second. So trust me to put it on a part where she's undressing at the window. But there was quite a bit of noise during the trailers. So what I'll do is I'll quickly just wind it back a little bit. Oh, Tommy Doyle, old Paul Rudd. Is that guy ever age? Is nosing at her through the window. So I don't know what it is about VHS, but those little lines you get. See? So nostalgic. Paul Rudd, does that guy ever age? Honestly. Let me find another interesting spot. We'll have a look. So, while I'm just waiting for this to rewind, it's only got about a minute or so left, if that. Well, I lied. But anyway, going back to the Halloween 5 repeat. I quite like this version, actually. And even though it is Cinema Club, it is the digital entertainment. And that reminds me of the Phantasm collection I had on VHS. I think did the same. But again, it's actually quite nice. It's quite nice artwork on there as well. Yeah. Anyway, let's play this. Let's have a look. Blue screen reminds me of in the start of Scream, when Casey's got it on there in the background, you know, when she takes the phone calls from Ghostface. Just wind it on slightly. God, remember the days when you had to wind things on? God, remember that? God, so nostalgic. Start of the tape is a bit iffy, but then it picks, see what I mean? And then it picks up a bit. Like when I was playing the movie a minute when Kara was getting changed. But like I say, this was an ex-rental tape, so it is quite, well played as an ex-rental probably should be. There's a nostalgic piece of a jingle for you. I wonder what the first trailer is.
They said it would never work. Where are you off? A man who had no one.
He's very unconventional.
Oh, rest in peace, Catherine O'Hara.
Hey, you gotta test that on your wrist.
Why? But now, against
I love the fact you're renting a horror movie and they're putting comedy trailers on. Must be for those people that can't cope.
and determined to become a family. Steve Martin. Remind me to cut that hole bigger. A simple twist of fate.
I do love my comedies as well. Love Steve Martin. Let's just see what this one is. Now I'm just wasting your time, but you know, if you're still here, please drop a like and a sub. It's always nice to have a trip down memory lane with someone digs the same crap we do.
Everybody, one by one, put your guns on the table. You guys don't want to mess with me. I just got fired from the post office. I can flip out and kill everybody in this room.
They call him Shame. He's a private investigator.
Low down, dirty, rotten
Just
Shame.
wants to leave his past behind.
Could I be right? Could I be wrong?
No, I think I'm a
Dirty, rotten Shame.
But his past
Tried to take my business, my life, and my work.
Wishmaster.
is about
Andrew
to catch
Divock.
up with him.
Oh God.
Look at yourself, Shane. You're taking on suicide jobs just to make a buck.
Now,
I've only got 3 days. I'll find them too.
he's got something to prove.
Quality's pretty good actually.
See,
Someone to protect.
Just promise me you're gonna smoke his
like a pack of cool.
Here I am showcasing Halloween 6 and I'm playing your trailers. I do apologise. I just find it a bit fascinating.
Can't spell Muhammad.
Muhammad Ali can't even spell Muhammad Ali.
And some occupational hazards to avoid.
Leave with me. Coffee's good with cream, but better when it's black.
When it comes to
Trying to be too much like Serge. And you know who Serge is.
some cops do it by the book.
I love Mexican food.
What makes it that this art gallery with a lemon twist?
He's a low-down, dirty Shame.
Low down dirty Shame.
Presents Keenan Ivory Wayans.
Thought it was. Pre-scary movie.
Dogs will not attack.
A low-down, dirty Shame.
Right, let's wind it on and see what else we've got. So only thing I don't like about having a VCR hooked up to a relatively modern TV, that it sort of cuts out a bit when I fast forward. You don't actually see what you're doing.
Start pulling the trigger.
Ellen Barkin. Lawrence Fishburne.
You and I are forever.
Right, I'll leave you there 2 seconds. When I find something half decent, I'll be back.
When
Who
you
remembers
buy a
this?
video, you need to know that the film you choose is suitable for the audience at home. To help you understand what the film is like, you can look at the certificate it has been given. This film has been classified as 18. That means this film is only suitable for people aged 18 or over. A film with an 18 certificate will almost certainly have an adult theme, and might well contain scenes of sex or violence which are quite graphic. It may also contain explicit language, including sexual swear words.
To any of my
It is an
American
offence
viewers,
to
I bet
supply
you
video
find this
classified
extremely
18 to
funny.
anyone below that age. Video certificates are there to give you the chance to make the right choice. Thanks for listening.
And I was watching this shit when I was like plus 8 years old. The first horror movie I ever remember watching was Friday the 13th Part 6. That jingle again. Friday the 13th Part 6, Jason Lives. And my granddad, I would stay over every fortnight. And my granddad would tape any movies that came on the TV over those 2 weeks, and I'd watch them when I stayed over. And he recorded, I think it was Halloween, the original Halloween, and Friday the 13th Part 6. And even though Friday the 13th Part 6 is quite comical, I think I threw my guts up. I was having nightmares for ages. Let's start the movie now.
Please don't hurt me.
And shout out to Alan Howarth as well. He did a phenomenal job taking over the reins from John Carpenter with the soundtracks. Nailed it with Halloween 2 with John Carpenter. Then went off on his own 4, 5, 6. Also hate the fact that they recast Danielle Harris. I wonder what the pause is like. Let's take a look at the pause. A bit crappier than normal. But yeah, anyway. Very, very brief story about Halloween 6. Back in... God, when was it? I don't want to say 2000. No, it wasn't 2008. It was earlier than that. It must have been the late 90s. I was staying over at my nan's house. I think I was about 17. Yeah, 1998. I just turned 18. I saw Halloween H20 at the cinema. I think I mentioned that in another video. On November 1st, 1998. So that would have, yeah, so that was 98. It must have been earlier than that. Sorry, just going down memory lane. Anyway, there was a girl. She came round. I was staying at my nan's house. We put Halloween 6 on. She came round, and I can't, you know what, I can't remember her name for the love of me. But my dad tried hooking me up with her, and she was a bit weird. I don't want to sound nasty, but she wasn't all there, and so we watched Halloween 6. I put it on. And I didn't really find her that attractive. She had a bit of a big nose. I mean, I shouldn't be that nasty, but you know, when you're interested in someone, you notice these things. But anyway, we literally finished the movie, and she got up. She literally went like this and stretched, and she farted, and that just put me off anyway. I mean, I wasn't really into her anyway, but that really put me off. I mean, how many of you have been with a girl or your wife or your girlfriend for many, many years, and farting just becomes the norm? But she literally, we sat with each other for an hour and a half, and literally as soon as Halloween 6 finished, she gets up, does a good old stretch and a little. I'm like, okay. I can't remember for the love of me what her name was. But yeah, stupid little tidbit of information about my personal, things with Halloween 6. But, yeah. So again, photocopy cover. I went to the hassle of actually cutting out the Buena Vista holographic logo, because you can hear it on there, and stuck it over it. And even though it was a photocopy, it still held up pretty well. You can actually tell that this was shrunk down from a big box, because you can still see like the black there and there of the original case where it's been shrunk. So anyway, what I'll do is I'll go back and I will post a small photograph up the top of the Cinema Club version of Halloween 6. But again, in my opinion, this is probably the most brutal Michael Myers has ever been in the franchise. And The Mask, I just think, brilliant. Everyone has their own opinions on The Mask, don't they? But that's the good thing about movies. You know, you get Siskel and Ebert, you know, the movie reviewers. They could talk shit about a movie, but you know, you get your audience out there love it. You love it or you hate it. You know, that's why I don't see the point in movie reviewers. I'm not reviewing movies. I'm just showcasing old media that I've got down from at the loft. But yeah, Halloween 6, The Curse of Michael Myers, the most brutal he has ever been. I tell you what, I would have loved to have seen what he did to Kara's mum in the backyard when she's dirt diving down there through all the sheets. What is it with Michael Myers and sheets? I really don't know. Michael Myers and sheets. There she is, dirt diving, clambering on her hands and knees, trying to get to safety. Michael Myers right there with an axe, straight to, well, whatever. Again, so brutal. And when I mean brutal, I mean that, like, some of the scenes, like especially when I think Kara's running away from him in the hallway of upstairs of Myers' house, and she falls down from a rafter and she's hanging there, and he literally shoves a fire poker into her where she's already dead, just for kicks. Again, the most brutal Michael Myers, and played by George P. Wilbur, who played him in Halloween 4, who I think is one of the better Myerses. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there. This has been Halloween 6, The Curse of Michael Myers. I'm not quite done with Halloween yet. There's still 1 or 2 more to go. I may well throw them in there soon. Anyway, please, if you like what you see, please drop a like and a sub. Some of them are better, some of them are not. As you can see, we've got the static lines up there. But again, this has been Media Dad. The movie decided to stop on his own. Now I'm being bombarded by Blue. But take care of yourselves, and I will definitely catch you in the next one. Please drop a like and a sub. Plenty more to come. See you later, guys.